First, how do you just realize you're a lesbian? Right?
Okay, I was very religious growing up. I was brought up to not even be able to consider that. And there's this thing that we all experience called compulsory heterosexuality, meaning that as a woman, I could reckon with the fact that I was bi. I could admit to myself that since I was 5, I have memories of getting the hots for the ladies, right?
For the ladies,
but
the hots.
For the ladies. And not the girls, because I was always into women in their 40s, even when I was really little. But here's the thing. Because of compulsory heterosexuality, being bi was an option. But the idea of not being attracted to men was really not an option in my head. Yeah. I always assumed, well, you're attracted to men, but you could also be attracted to women. Until I actually had sex with a woman as an adult. I can say that on the show, right?
Yeah.
I can. Okay, good. After I touched titties for the first time and licked a lady, I was like, oh my God, this explains why I never enjoyed sex with men. I'm just fucking gay.
Wait, hold on. You never enjoyed sex with a man?
I thought I did because let me tell you this, my last relationship with a man who was 28 years older than me, I've never loved a man more. He was incredible to me, not showering me in gifts and all that. God, I wish, like I said, I wish I was a sugar baby. I wasn't. I was in a 3-year relationship with him. He took good care of us, but I never got extravagant, crazy things. That's not who he is. And
like he wasn't excessive financially. He was reasonable.
He was reasonable. That's how he operated in his life. And I loved him. I felt safe with him. So did I have good orgasms? Did I enjoy sex? Yeah, I wasn't assaulted by him. In fact, I probably pressured him to have sex more often because he was like every other day. And I'm like, I need an orgasm every day. But I'm thinking about women. I was thinking about women. He's the same. I was thinking about women the whole time, okay?
Really?
Yes, and I just thought every other girl did that. I didn't know. So then I really sat with myself for about a year, and I told him going in, I know I'm bi, and he was okay with it. But then we decided, okay, last year of our relationship, I really think I want to explore with women. And he was like, you have that permission. So I never cheated on him. He was always aware of who I was in communication with. Right. And to be honest, I only slept with one girl who became my girlfriend, made me realize that I just was gay. And I told him the truth as soon as I knew, and we ended very, very peacefully. And he's still my best friend now. Like, I'm probably going to FaceTime him after this.
What? Well, let me ask you a question, right? So this is another angle because my brain's just doing backflips. So
I know, it's crazy.
So wait, so this guy, how deep into the relationship were you guys after?
Oh, he was about to propose.
He was about to propose to you. What gave you the impression he was going to propose to you? How long were you with him?
I told him no twice. He hadn't gotten on his knee, but he was like, I'm going to start looking at diamonds. Because my parents had a jewelry store. Okay. So he was like, I'm talking to your mom about diamonds. And I was like, I'm not ready for that just yet. Okay. And 6 months into our relationship, he tried to put a silly band on my finger because he invented silly bands, those viral bracelets.
Okay.
Yeah, he sold billions of them. So that's what made him highly successful. So he got down on his knee like 6 months into the relationship and tried to put a silly band on my finger. And I was like, get up. Get up, Sarah.
There's just so many things with this because I feel as though like I'm of the belief that like traditional marital proposals to me don't really exist the way they used to. So, no. And what I mean by that is like, I think a proper modern engagement today is a conversation that is had over the course of a relationship. For a man to propose multiple times and be rejected, like to me, I don't understand that because to me, like you should know that your woman wants to marry you before you propose to them.
Well,
right?
he never, it was like these conversations and then it would like turn into a joke proposal. It wasn't like he planned this extravagant thing and had the ring yet. It was just in those conversations, I'd be like, no, not ready yet. And I couldn't put my finger on why, because he was so good to me. He is still so good to me. He's a great dude.
Well, okay.
He's not my dude.
So then let me ask you this. Why did you have such a preference for older humans, older men, as opposed to someone your age or just slightly older or maybe slightly younger? What's the reason for a big age gap?
Okay, so I'll be the first to admit I definitely want a more successful partner than me. Okay. I think that's super hot, and I really own my desire in that.
Okay.
With that being said, I don't expect for you to do everything for me, but I would like you to do a lot of things for me.
In what sense?
Like just spoiling with nice things, nice gifts. If you see that I need something, cover it. But right now I have shifted into a very independent phase of life. I'm not dating anyone. I depend on myself, have my own business. But with Robert, I didn't have to work. I was building my brand slowly, strategically. Some days I work 8 hours a day. Some days I worked for him for 2 years. I worked for him like 12 hours a day. And that's another thing. Women in these situations, it could go really good or really bad. Mm-hmm. You could have a sugar daddy or age gap partner who treats you amazing and hires you on and gives you, like me, vice president status of his company. And I worked my ass off. Okay?
Got it.
I have equity in the company still to this day. It's something I'm really proud of. I worked for it. But you could also be in a situation, and that's where the age gap, sugar baby, sugar daddy dynamic is risky, because you could be in a situation where someone really holds money over your head, does not give you opportunities for you to grow, actually doesn't encourage you to grow your own business, and then you're totally financially dependent. You have nowhere to go if something doesn't work out.
Yeah.
You could be really... Now, did Robert, there's a rumor going around right now that he gave me $10,000 whenever I came out, and I'm like, I wish that would be so nice, but no, I got nothing. Okay. I just left.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that there's pros and there's cons. You can have a great human who's a mentor to you.
Yeah.
And encourages you to stand on your own 2 feet, gives you the tools. And for me, I didn't have to pay my rent because I was living with him in his beautiful home.
Yeah.
So guess what I did? I dug my heels in and I worked on my own brand and my own business. I had time to make 10 TikToks a day to grow my platform. I had time to build my website. I had time to devote myself to studying relationships so I could help women through breakups. I had time to devote myself to spirituality, all the things that I do now in my services and that I've done for 2 years, but now I'm really doing because I got to pay my bills. Before I would take a few sessions a week.
Yeah. Now you're like, these bills are coming all the time. Like, right? What are we doing? Versus like, daddy, like, where's the money? But help me out here, right? So you prefer older men because you like the idea of men being more successful, and it's not a foreign ideal. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, right? And in some way, shape, or form, a large majority of women value that in some capacity, right? Some might have a more extreme version of that than others. Like for some women, like if you're not making 8 figures, you don't belong in the conversation. For some women, it's like, just have a good job. And when I'm pregnant, just let me know that you can take care of me and the baby, and then that's it, whatever the standards are, right? So there's even a spectrum within that, right? So there's nothing wrong with it, and I would never shame anybody, because there's always a conversation that I hear in a lot of platforms where people are arguing, women are gold diggers, they don't want a guy with money, this, that, and the third. In my opinion, I'm like, if that's what you want, get that. Just be open and honest about it. And if you're not the guy for that woman, just keep it moving, right? But but on the reverse, the men also, right? If they're seeking something from a woman that woman can't give them, they should just be gone as well, right? Because some women who are seeking the financial benefits, unfortunately, a lot of them aren't really well-versed in adding the value to the men. Like if you think about what you said, you participated in this man's business, right?
Oh, yes.
And you provided value. And if you truly did that in the way that you described, to me, that's not I don't even look at that as a sugar baby. That's like a partnership, right?
It was a real partnership.
Yeah.
But like you were saying before, we shouldn't have shame for this, because to be honest, we're biologically wired this way. Men were hunters and gatherers, women, nurturing.